Jan.
Jan, go. Okay, so Jan, if you can just look at me when
look
you
at
do
you.
the the responses. Is that all right with you?
Come down here a bit.
Come, sir?
Yeah.
You just want to break my back.
Yeah.
So what is this called, and when did it start?
This is called the Caravan Gallery. It's a gallery in a caravan, and Chris and I started this project in 2000. And we travel around Britain making a record of what it's really like, I suppose. So it's an evolving exhibition. We've got 60,000 odd pictures in our archive, and we change the display wherever we go to reflect usually the local environment. And some of the pictures are accidental sightings, like dogs in shell suits, people mowing their pavement, that kind of thing. And other things seem to illustrate trends that are happening, like the demise of the small shop, petrol stations being turned into things like saunas or flower shops. Just, everywhere's being regenerated. Some places more quickly than others. So I suppose we're trying to capture that transition, things that change, things that stay the same, and the bits in between.
And how did this all start? Where did the ideas come from? Was it something that you were partially involved with before, or?
I belong to a studio group in Portsmouth called Art Space Portsmouth, so we set up the Caravan Gallery as it was just a response to a commission initially. It was just going to be for, funnily enough, a bank holiday weekend. Exactly 7 years ago, yeah. And it went down so well, and people were just really into it. We thought, oh, can't stop now. And we're never going to run out of material. There's a lot out there to make to photograph.
And where do you travel? Do you travel just in England, South East?
Go all over the place. We've been everywhere from the Isle of Wight to Tokyo. We went to Tokyo recently. Had an exhibition with Paul Smith over there. Glasgow we've been to, North Shields. Where else have we been? Cornwall. No, we'll go. Very often we're invited to go and make a study of a place. But wherever we go, we always take our cameras, so open to everything and everywhere.
Brilliant. Do you want to cut it there?
Just wait for it.
Okay. So Chris, I'm going to ask you to do something really odd. I'm going to probably ask exactly the same questions that I've just asked Jan.
Yeah.
But can I just ask you to look at Jan and just say Cornwall?
Yeah. Cornwall.
And again?
Cornwall.
And just one more time.
Cornwall.
Perfect. So if I could ask you the same questions, Chris, which is slightly different. How did you both get involved in this?
We've been collaborating on various things for a number of years, and Jan's had this studio in Portsmouth with the studio group, and we were travelling a lot and taking pictures and making work, and I was framing it, and I had a stained glass shop at one time, and we were doing things with that. And it just came together as this one little caravan unit, and developed from there really. And as it's gone on over the years, the caravan's sort of taken over a little bit, and it's got a life of its own now. And from the images that we've made, we've now got a couple of publications, 170 postcards, 12 greetings cards, 6 sheets of wrapping paper, a calendar, and everything, and various commissions as well. So we're working on tourist guides to the country. So the whole thing's expanded from the initial showing a few pictures in the caravan.
And where do you see it ending?
Well, at one time we did think it did have a finite lifespan, but the more we go on, the more we realise that there's more to do, and as I say, the whole thing's expanding into different areas, and as far as we're concerned, it doesn't end, it just keeps going until one of us pegs it, I think.
And do you photograph digitally? How do you actually produce them?
Yes, in order to get the amount of images that we do, our work is based on a lot of images. When we had the show in Tokyo, we had over 700 images in it. We had a show in the opening of the Aspects Gallery in Portsmouth, and that had well over 1,000 images in it, because we try and capture a whole feeling of a place, and this present time it's called Is Britain Great? So we've got a lot of images to show for that. I've forgotten the question.
How do you follow it? Do you use digital?
Oh, yeah.
Digital?
So in order to do that, we do have digital cameras. We walk around the streets with a couple of digital cameras. We quite often will just spend 2 or 3 or 4 days walking around an area just to get as many images as we can of things that we think are interesting that the locals might not have noticed, and then put it together as an exhibition of an area, and then that goes into the archive for future reference as well.
Any funny incidents?
Oh, lots of funny. Jan's the funny incident person. I think you ought to. My memory's not as good as it.
Funny incidents.
Funny incidents.
We've had the. Are you ready? We've had the woman who waxes Alan Titchmarsh's wife's legs in the caravan. That was good. We were in the Herne Bay Festival the other day, and we had a big pile of Chelsea pensioners in here who particularly enjoyed the more bawdy pictures in our collection, and wouldn't leave without rather a lot of embracing. It's like a little social club on wheels, the Caravan Gallery, and people, it's like a confessional as well. People feel they get this urge to fill our visitors' book with anecdotes and confessions about what they did on the roof of St Paul's Cathedral when they thought nobody was looking, that kind of thing. So it's great the way we meet a complete range of people in here. From, we might be outside an art biennial or an exhibition, and we'll have a curator in here at the same time as someone who's just gone to Quick Save for a pint of milk, and it ends up just being we have some great conversations.
And do you, is there ever any comparisons with old photographs? Do people come in and say, oh, I've got an old postcard of it, can I bring it in?
I mean, people do send us things. They quite often email us, and because one of the things that we like to do is we've realised that lots of people just really don't look very much. A lot of people don't take a lot of notice of where they live, and so it's always interesting when they point out one of our images and say, oh, where's that? I'm sure I've seen it, but I can't quite place it. Or they'll say, I've walked past that for 20 years and I never knew that was there. So that happens a lot. People sometimes, last weekend, someone gave me a big pile of postcards from their grandmother's collection. And a lot of people recognise that it is what we're doing is an archive, a kind of social history archive, as much as an art and photography project.
We do. Sorry.
Okay. When you're ready, go.
We do return to places quite often, and we link up with other agencies such as architecture groups. We always do something for Architecture Week, and for example, Ipswich, we've been back to 3 or 4 times, and every time we've taken a new set of pictures, but quite often using the same images, or the same location rather, and so we can compare what is happening to various areas, and in that way we're keeping an ongoing record of regeneration.
Good. Cut.
You must be dying.